For the next hour, we have one question. Why Hungary? What makes it work for international productions and what it means for the local crew who makes those productions happen? Both sides of the same story. I have 4 people with me who know this better than anyone. Let's meet them. Ildikó Kemény. Ildikó is a Hungarian producer, graduate of the National Film and Television School in the UK. In 1995, she established Pioneer's film arm. Their credits include Orphan premiering in Venice and Moulin premiering at Cannes in a few days. Recent international partnerships include Dune Part 3, Rebate Problem, Dune Prophecy, Maria, Lee, and Oscar-winning Poor Things. Viktória Petrányi. Viktória is a producer, co-founder of Proton Cinema and vice president of ACE Producers. She balances original features with high-end service productions for Netflix, Disney, and Sky. Most recently, she co-produced the triple Oscar winner The Brutalist and is currently working on Ruben Östlund's upcoming feature. Eszter Galambos. Eszter is a Budapest-based cinematographer. She has worked as DOP and camera operator on international productions including Halo, Dune Prophecy, All the Light We Cannot See, Rebate Problem, and Amrum. She is a member of the Hungarian Cinematographers Association. And Gábor Rajna. Gábor is a Hungarian film producer and entrepreneur. As a co-founder of Falcon Film Group, he contributed to Son of Saul, which won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. He has worked on over 100 film and television productions. He also associated with companies such as Astra Filmland and Vantage Vision. Let's start. First question. Hungary is Europe's second most popular filming location after London. What actually brings a production here today? Is it still mainly the rebate or something else? Please, Ildikó.
Hi, everyone. So the first question regarding the complexities of what brings all of you foreigners who are interested in coming to Hungary, it's definitely based on our rebate system, which was introduced 20 years ago. Our film law is now 20 years old, and during this time, exponentially kind of growing number of productions got confirmed here in Budapest. What actually brings everyone here, as well as the rebate, is certainly our fantastic locations. Budapest is very chameleon-like, standing in for period to modern day to futuristic, all kinds of locations. Our 26 districts offer different looks. We have amazing studios and the crew base. The crew base has grown enormously recently. Actually, with Gábor, there will be a kind of a counting of how many crew we have by now. We are calling it 20,000, but I think it's a bigger number by now. We'll see if once you finish the counting. But certainly within the region, we definitely have a combination of these which attracts international productions to Hungary.
Viktória?
Yeah, I think Ildikó summed it up perfectly. What maybe I would just add, but you said that also in a way, that there's a certain, in the crew base, there's a certain kind of attitude that I think is really attracting when it comes to providing service, or how we put it sometimes, caring about a project, because we are traditionally a filmmaker's country, and that's really a plus. That means that we have tons of wonderful filmmakers like Eszter sitting here, but many others as well, and that trains the crews to really care about what they are doing. So it's always, I like to think it's always a bit more than just providing service. It's always care, it's always professional maximalism, it's always some perfectionist craziness, what we are chasing. So yeah, I like to think that that's also one of the list.
Well, what I can speak about is like, as a cinematographer, like if you come to Hungary, what are the positive sides of that, or what attracts cinematographers' work in Hungary, and what I kind of experience from my fellow colleagues is that they love Hungary because of its beauty, because of its locations, as Ildikó also mentioned, and yeah, the specific visual attraction of it, and then as you both mentioned, there is like a very, very professional technical crew based in here, professionals that are everybody happy to work with, and also like amazing rental houses that are super supportive, and where you can find anything, and you can find the answers to your technical questions, or find support to your I don't know, visual expectations or technical technical specifics, and that's, I think, unique in Eastern Europe or Middle Eastern Europe, like compared to other countries that are close by. There are studios that are very very well made, very good to work in, and so from a professional perspective, professional point of view, a lot of things are given here that are not in the area at other places.
We understand. And Gábor?
Actually, I absolutely agree with Eszter that over the tax rebate, which was a really nice opportunity for the country. We have to remember that we were the first time we had the tax rebate, maybe, I don't remember, 6-8 years before the other countries around in Eastern Middle Europe. And this situation gave us the opportunity to start earlier than the others, learn and make the education for these crews which came from foreign, how they work, what they need, with what kind of equipment, what kind of structure they are working in, and my purpose was from the beginning to be careful and looking for these crews, what they need, and trying to figure out the best services for them, because I believe not just the tax rebate, but also this professionalism is very important.
Thank you. And studios, location, logistic. What does Hungary have that you can't easily find somewhere else in the region? And where are the gaps? What do you think, Ildikó?
So Gábor already mentioned that we have been lucky that we were ahead of all the other countries in the region, and because of that we actually, I mean, originally Hungarian filmmakers have had such a kind of a worldwide reputation, so I think everything is based on that too. So we gradually built on the film law, which was introduced 20 years ago. But yes, absolutely, we were ahead of our regional friends. And also they had a bit of a wobbly time. Our wobbly time was only last year, which we don't want to talk about now, but that's what we actually would like to kind of even out in order to get the trust back from our international partners. What was the other part of the question? Sorry.
The gaps.
The gaps. I think right now we have this, maybe the gap is a financial situation we just need to find the bridge for. The trusted situation we had before needs to be reinstated, which we are confident that it will happen now. We had our previous sessions when it was is kind of talked about. We are all fighting for that. Our tax rebate potentially to be financed out of Hungary, maybe that's something which we can work on. Some of the banks can do it, but I can't really think of any other gaps. Vicky?
I'm sure there are some gaps. There's always some gaps. Look, I think in a way
it's an everyday challenge because we are fragile. I do think that the industry is fragile because what if the surrounding countries are beating us in prices? What if a better rebate somewhere pops up? Every country is developing. Actually, it's a very healthy and good competition. What's going on in the region? We sometimes also offer each other's industries. Sometimes I get a call and I say, maybe you should go to Bulgaria because that just really would serve you better or would be better fit to your project. So I think that we need to just bear in mind that it's fragile and just really keep up the quality, have reasonable prices, and develop the infrastructure as much as we can. So we can't really stop developing, I guess. There will be gaps.
So, sorry, what was the question again? Because I couldn't hear it. So sorry.
What the gaps? Gaps.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are the gaps?
Yes,
That's hard to say. I think it's very different from. I mean, for local individual productions and for like service productions, because it's one industry, but it's kind of divided into two parts because the service productions have their financial base and they are spending money here, and then accordingly they get like professional support, good professional support. And then in the last years there was like the local film industry and the, let's say, indie film industry, where like this financial support is often not given or not there or wasn't available, and then like there are like kind of gaps to like what have to be filled up. So I can't really think about like any specific like professional gaps, but like I think it's a complicated question in this terms of, okay, are we looking at the local film industry or are we looking at the service productions? Because
I understand. Yes. And Gábor?
I think the biggest gap is exactly between the local film industry and the service industry, and I would be so happy to find those ways, because I believe it has to be a kind of cooperation, so helping each other, and I'm sure that we can find the ways how to profit from the local to the service and from the service to the local productions.
Okay, next. Does Hungary work the same way for a $5 million indie and a $150 million studio film, or is one a better fit?
So it definitely works for any kind of productions. I don't think it's the same way. It really depends on the actual financial structure of each production. Certainly a big studio film or TV series would want to come here because they are relying on the tax rebate. However, on indie pictures and co-productions, it often becomes part of the financing structure, which is also very important. So they are actually much more exposed to any type of changes or any kind of problems if the tax rebate doesn't deliver. So whilst the big studio project can actually wait for a bit longer to get the tax rebate. On the indie or Hungarian productions, it's actually a lot more kind of time effective the way the tax rebate has to be delivered. So I think it's a big subject matter, so I don't want to get into all the details. I just let the others to talk about it, but it's very necessary on different ways.
Yeah, yeah. It is one of maybe the biggest challenge of the industry, not to even mention how to balance right the Hungarian local content producing versus the massive projects that are flooding in the country. So I think that this big and diverse crew base is really a lucky given, and if we develop it and nurture it well, it will be able to serve very, very different purposes. It's rather easy to put together a small, super flexible crew with indie attitude for a lower budget, and it's obviously possible to build a few hundred people crew from very, very experienced professionals as well. And this if we keep it flexible and if we are ready to react on the given project, it's always the project that will tell us what is needed. And if we just keep it flexible and react on that, then it has to be working for both categories, definitely.
I have to agree. Somehow, maybe I'm not right, but I have this idea in my head to have like coming from like a Middle Eastern European country, or having like this history of this country, like somehow what I experienced that locals often, even like the local professionals, have a kind of like a sense of creativity, what they were not necessarily born with, but what comes from the history of the country, or like how we were treated and raised up, and that I often hear from like from other countries or foreign countries, that it's, you know, like somehow if you learn to work with less like opportunities, or less like in a structure where you have to be creative because some things are not given, that helps you in a longer distance to find solutions in every state, and that I think is here in this country, in the mentality of the people, and I kind of enjoy working with Hungarians because of that, because they, even if there are some restrictions, they often like find solutions for that in a very creative manner.
Okay, and
I think they said everything. Just, I mean, it's nice that we speak about two categories this time, because before it was not really, we didn't talk about that there are these indies and the big studio films, and I'm sure that we can split them and have a look on the structure and the request needs for both of the categories, and find the right solutions for both of the type of films.
okay, thank you. And what's the Hungarian crew market like today? What is strong, what is missing, and where is it going?
So the Hungarian crew market is certainly growing, and that's something to be very proud of. I think it's, again, we have to go back, and actually there are three categories in a way, because there are the Hungarian films, there are the co-productions, international co-productions, I mean, and there are the big service jobs. So we have had we have been lucky to be able to work on each three of them, and I must say that I'm the proudest when we actually bring on a Hungarian talented crew on either of these. Well, the Hungarian films obviously would be full of Hungarian crew, although interestingly there are some international crew who either remained in the country or we enjoyed working with them. They come back on our Hungarian films, so that's an interesting kind of reverse situation. But actually, regarding the Hungarian crew, I'm the proudest when actually we managed to crew up even the HODs, the head of departments, out of Hungarian crew. So our best example is, for example, a set decorator, Zsuzsa Mihalek, who got the Oscar for Poor Things. You might have seen it, and the actual kind of wealth and the amazing kind of set decoration she created on that is just completely unheard of. So she put us on a different pedestal. So every time we have a new production coming in, they are asking, so where are these wonderful set decorators? We don't need to bring in our own one. We can actually look around in Hungary. And not just in set decoration, on every level. It's honestly, when we started, quite a long time ago, it was mostly for foreign films. They brought in their own HODs, and if the HOD came in, then of course they wanted to bring their second or third crew member. So we were full of non-Hungarian crew, obviously making it more expensive that way too. So it's a bit of a kind of a financial tool too, but at the same time, the actual fact that there are amazing crew members whose CVs are actually longer than any most of the foreign counterparts is extremely, it's something we can be very, very proud of.
Viktória?
Yeah, agreeing with Ildikó, absolutely. It evolves gradually, almost year by year. So the one very visible sector is post-production, when we were really well equipped with great crews for shootings and studios were blooming and the infrastructure was growing. Post-production many times is not happening in Hungary, therefore they were a step behind, and by now, in the last few years, also post VFX houses, music recording, editorial suites got there very much. So it really evolves based on the needs and the necessities, and that's, I would say that's really exciting to see. It happens right in front of our eyes. Maybe just a big project comes and says, we would need, I don't know, something that we haven't done before, and suddenly there will be 2 water tanks, and we look around and another thing is popping up. So it's really based on the needs.
So yeah, I agree. I think that like local crew and local technical crew is amazing. They are like highly professional and generally like very nice people to work with, and like Ildikó said, it happens, I think, rarelier than like HODs come in big service productions from this country, but if it happens, it's extremely positive, and it's a very good opportunity for even for creatives to have that and have like connections, international connections for their career. So even if you somehow get an opportunity to get in touch with like to people in the service productions, I think it's just such an opportunity to get further and to change ideas or to professionally gain some knowledge. And
by the way, you are one of the good examples. So we have been working with Eszter a lot, and sometimes maybe you are not the cinematographer, but you are in a very good position as a camera operator, and they always enjoy working with you. So that's kind of the right dynamics.
Yeah, and like I got somehow lucky to get connections and yeah, to learn a lot. So it's even for young young people in the industry, it can be such a great opportunity to learn from these big productions because they are in a way on another level, like professionally, just in the terms of what you can see in professionalism. Yeah.
Sorry, Esther. What are you thinking about the Hungarian education in the film industry?
It's a tricky question.
Sorry.
Well, big subject matter.
Like, I don't know, without getting too much deep into it, I was graduating in the previous system, so like before the restructuring happened, and I have to say that I think at the university back then we got a really great education, and I'm very thankful for that, because so when I started to work and see all this, I don't know, like other technical sizes, and like it was part of a big learning curve, but like the base was somehow there, or like the idea of I don't know, like a good mental background, and that's what I see when I see some cinematographers or directors who are working abroad, that somehow there are a few people who became very successful, and it's not just because they were lucky, but they are like they have something that brought them there, and I want to believe that it's part of the education what they got in here. But yeah, I think it's a tricky question right now, and I don't know what will happen in the next years. And I also believe that a lot of people in the last years were in a very tricky position to decide how they want to go forward and what they should do.
Okay, thank you. This question was why I'm thinking, well, the local crew learning skills is enough for the international crew, and that's why thinking that.
I think it is, in a way. I mean, as cinematographers, I think it's a bit different than directors. I think it is. I think I believe it is. And for the technical crew is again something different. So it's different for like the creative part, I think, of the crew, and it's different for the technical part and or technical crew based, and because like for the technical crew, I think they got very well educated from themselves, because they have like gaining experience for so many years in the past in these productions, and like for cinematographers, yeah, I think they have a chance to work in these productions. It's because they have their talent, they have like a certain education that is should be.
Okay. And Gábor?
It was the original question. about
Sorry.
the cruise.
Crew,
Yeah.
what missing, where is going?
Crews are amazing. So basically, just one thing that we have so many foreign service jobs that all these crews usually are very busy, always busy, and I would be happy to find ideas how to involve all this knowledge also in the local projects, because sometimes they are so busy that they can't participate in the local projects, and would be great to have them also in the local project.
And what do you think about the salaries? I'm heard that we are much expensive Czechs. What do you think?
Producers knows better than me.
Well, there is always a comparison with other countries. So, and to be honest, it depends on the project and what they compare it with. But with the Czechs, we are roughly the same. Some crew members are more expensive, some are a bit cheaper. But I think what would be interesting to bring in is that for those who are here to hear more about the Hungarian film industry, so we have a training program. We certainly pay a fee for that, but that is actually perhaps to put onto the agenda of our film reform, how to use that trainee fee line we are actually putting into each budget, and we pay as soon as a project starts rolling. So there is definitely because on your level, so head of departments, cinematographers, that's a great education. But across the board, I think this is something to be looked at in the upcoming months, how to build on actually kind of the success of the rest of the crew, but how to kind of train up more and have the right amount of crew members who can actually be around for local projects, for smaller projects, for bigger projects. So it should definitely be reformed.
Thank you. And the 30% rebate is extended for 6 years, but every country has a rebate now. What does Hungary need to stay competitive? Victor?
It's a very complex comparison. You can't just see it case by case and say, obviously, we need to know and understand other countries' rebate system as well, and monitor it constantly, how it's changing, how regulations are changing. I'm pretty sure that what you would realize if you compare that most of the systems are structured with built-in breaks with some reasonable limitations. Most probably we will also need some of these in the future. And there's also, if you would compare, you would realize that it's built on a very common understanding. It's a financial tool, obviously. It brings finances to the project, and the question is also up to what level and what are the costs that can be eligible. Hungary is right now, I know quite well all the rebate systems, but I wouldn't dare to say it's the best, but definitely one of the most competitive rebate systems. It works well, it worked well, let me put it this way, and it will work well again. So now there's a bit of a fracture here, but as we heard today, the new government will be very supportive to fix it soon. So I think if there's a reasonable, sensible system and a very competitive number, and it's monitored constantly, then, and the controls of it, so there's no misusage of the rebate, but the controls of it are established well, then we have to be okay. I think it's, yeah, one more thought about it. It's very, very interesting country by country if you see the comparison, how it works. And it's really not about, okay, it's only 20 there and it's 30 whatever here. So it's not this. it's really the structure of it, and each answer belongs very much to cultural policies. Are they encouraging rather big blockbusters? Are they encouraging different kind of movies? So the answer is very complex, and definitely don't look at the numbers only.
Eszter?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not really it's not really
Okay.
my field to answer this. I think, yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah,
Gábor?
I have one comment. I'm concentrating on the services, through like Astra Filmland on an international level, and I believe in a foreign production coming to Hungary to shoot, there are two things. One is the tax rebate, which is very important, and now it seems that it's very good. But from the other side, probably they have other costs that for in other countries they have to pay much more, because a lot of crew members they have to bring over from the original country, production country, and Hungary is very good because actually there are less and less foreign spends. So we have all these amazing crew members, and they don't have to bring from foreign. And I think it's another important reason why to come to Hungary.
And not just the crew members, but equipment. So let's bring it back to you guys. That looking around here, I really recommend for all of you to actually look at the other building where all this amazing equipment are actually lined up and outside. So all this equipment just wasn't available here in Budapest before. So the fact is that these are actually locally available, locally kind of developed, which is something we can be very proud of. But the fact is that we don't have to bring it in from a foreign country, let's say from the UK or from even America. Sometimes we were asked to have such a crane which only exists in whatever country. Actually, they are all here now. So that is an amazing possibility, and this is where our tax rebate goes further. So let's say in our kind of neighboring countries, they don't, maybe in Prague, but other countries, they don't really have the equipment possibilities we have in Budapest. So that's actually also pretty amazing.
And studios.
Of course. And what is the biggest misunderstanding foreign producers have about Hungary before they come or after they leave? Viktória?
Gosh. After they leave?
Misunderstanding after departure. That would be, I'm sure there are some. Look, I don't think there's one big misconcept or misunderstanding. I think what we are facing every day is that each project is a very sensitive something, and people come with their hopes and expectations that this will be their best place, or this Hungary will provide home for their projects. And many times, or not many times, it's always a culture clash. We are Eastern European people with a certain attitude, and we need to answer to projects that are not necessarily coming from the same attitude. And I think, obviously, during the course of the years, we learn by doing a lot, and we try to adjust it ourselves, not only in terms of budget scales, but also in terms of how to make people feel home. But I'm pretty sure that every and each project is a new story of that, whether they are obviously they are coming from different cultures, and also we answer differently to things that we create. The more, what I feel is that the more responsibility a Hungarian crew has, the better they function. This is almost always true. So in a way, the higher positions they can get, the more care they will give. It's like, I don't know if it's a Hungarian thing, most probably it's general human, that they like to be responsible and like to add to things. The less responsible they are, the more distant they will be. And I think if you can really put this wind into into your channels, that can be a very lucky coincidence. And
yeah, I have been thinking about this, but maybe I'm just giving my age away if I say that, way back we had, so many questions about what's available in Hungary regarding food and, kind of different type of toiletries and, where do you go and eat, and if I'm a vegetarian, then, can you cater for that? So I think there was time when we actually used to send a driver to Vienna to pick up the latest nuts or the special water or whatever they needed, but obviously that's kind of behind us. So, there could be still kind of, I think we have been lucky that so many of the producers who we all have been working with and studio partners, they have been here before, so they know exactly what they are, they can expect, and thank God, we have managed to kind of come up to those expectations. Something completely different I was thinking of, that what comes up all the time, and I don't know if you guys share it with me, but it's the kind of surprise that everything is in local currency. So actually, maybe then after they leave, we have got various different documents to share and always explain it to our partners, but somehow there is always that time and the tax rebate comes back in half, and the VAT comes back in half for our local currency. And unfortunately, because of the political situation above our heads, the exchange rate has been either really advantageous or really bad. So that is something which is still a constant kind of conversation. Obviously, then they understand, and then we have to explain that the invoice date is the date when the Hungarian National Bank exchange rate has to be recorded. But all those, that is a constant situation I'm dealing with. Less on the food type now, but more on this, let's say. But I can't think of anything else.
Yes, I'm thinking chimney cake with ice is the regular, but not. And Gábor? No? Okay.
It's a constantly, we might want to talk about it. It's a constant learning in terms of, we are learning a lot as a society also through these industry encounters, like about sustainability and harassment policies and things that we haven't heard for many, many years. And I guess that when I say it's a cultural encounter as well, yes, we are a evolving society. So when it comes to harassment policies, I guess a few years ago we were like, okay, like that's a thing also. And now we obviously adapted our policies and practices. And it's emotion, I would say.
And one last question. One sentence, you are talking to a foreign producer in this room. Why Hungary?
Everything what we talked about until now.
Yes, but one sentence. Why?
Well, we can become your partner in your creative venture. So from the creative, from the production, from the financial point of view, I think we have enough producers in this country who can become your good partner.
I'm not necessarily Hungary. I would say choose for the project. So if it's not Hungary, then it's not Hungary. Yeah. I think Hungary is convincing enough, but if it's not the right choice, then it's not.
Okay. Let's go outside, I would suggest, because it seems that all the Hungarian industry is here, or people from the industry, or a lot of crew guys, and let's talk to them, because I think that's the best.
Yeah, I agree, because of all the people who are part of this industry and who are nice to work with.
Okay. Thank you all. Ildikó, Viktória, Eszter and Gábor, thank you. And thank you to everyone in this room. Enjoy the rest of Eurosign, and I hope to see you on a set in Budapest soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.